With Kyrie Irving out as late, Terry Rozier has been amazing, a breakout star, and the Celtics haven't missed a beat with Kyrie out. But the question is, has Terry played his way out of Boston Celtics? Will Danny Ainge have to consider trading him possibly, or in a couple of years, not bring him back in because he will gain so much attention and money? Mike, Chris?
I mean, I think it's going to be tough to keep Terry Rozier around when his time comes to look at his contract. Obviously, this season he's been playing so well, and the contract that he's playing on, and the stats don't match each other. It's going to be come a point in time where you're going to really have to consider, can we keep this guy who has the potential to play so well around as just Kyrie Irving's backup for the foreseeable future? It's something that the Celtics are really going to have to consider. You know the money's going to be an issue. He wants to be a starter in this league. Do they want to pay him and keep him as just a backup is going to be the major question. I think not. I think he's probably going to Danny Ainge is going to look to move on when it comes time to look at his contract.
So, like we said, Terry's been playing amazing. But, Chris, do you believe he's really a starter in this league right now?
Yeah, for sure. He's a starter. Terry knows it. The Celtics know it. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Started on January 31st, first start of his career, had a triple-double, and he's taken off since then. I don't think anyone really expected these numbers from him. But now that he's making them, you know, they're going to have to look at other options down the road because that number might be too high for the Celtics, and it might have made Marcus Smart down the road the cheaper option. So I think both parties are going to have to evaluate all options, and I think he could have played himself out of Boston.
See, when I think of Terry Rozier and I see the triple-doubles that you mentioned, we've seen a couple of 30-point breakout games. And then, you know, you see the couple of middle-of-the-pack games, the 10 points, 5 assists. I think teams are smart enough to know that he's under a Brad Stevens system, that Brad Stevens is getting the best out of Terry Rozier. We see what he's doing with Shane Larkin. So is a little bit of Terry's been playing very well, but he's also under a well-coached Brad Stevens system?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can make a comparison to guys you see that play under Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, once you see their value and they're learning from, you know, Terry Rozier is learning from Brad Stevens and he's learning from Kyrie Irving at the same time, teams look at that and say, okay, we can bring this guy in and maybe he can be a person who can kind of right the ship for the point guard position in our team. So I think when Terry Rozier looks at, and again, he's only in his third year in the league, so when that time comes, he's probably telling himself $3 million or $20 million a year, whatever the case may be, he wants to get paid as well. I think teams will really value what he can possibly bring to their team if a move is made.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, you know, maybe he is a system guard and maybe Brad Stevens has made him look better than he really is. That may be the case. But, again, the numbers don't lie and he's going to want to get paid. And in the NBA, there's a lot of money floating around. So I think he's going to want out, or at least not necessarily out, but he's going to want to get paid. So whether he's a system guard or not, that money might be an issue.
So let me ask you guys this. If you have a decision between Marcus Smart and Terry Rozier, who do you want to be your backup point guard for the Celtics?
Oh, man, I could go back and forth with this all day, but I think I'll go Terry Rozier just from what he's been able to do offensively. I think Brad can get defense out of anybody, but offensively what Terry Rozier can do, I'd say Terry Rozier for sure.
That's tough. I love Terry Rozier, don't get me wrong, but I think I got to go with Marcus Smart. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. You're going up against some of the elites in the playoffs. You're going to want Marcus Smart on the perimeter, wrapping up their best players. I just don't think Terry Rozier can bring that kind of perimeter defense.
It's definitely going to be a tough decision that the Celtics and Danny Ainge are going to have to do, but right now we are going to ride the wave with Terry Rozier.